Epstein!
Anything new on Epstein?
Epstein. What about Epstein?
How about that Epstein?
What's up, guys? It's Benny. House Democrats have been punching themselves directly in the balls over the Epstein release, the scandalous documents proving only that Democrats are a bunch of creeps that were begging Epstein for money constantly, using Epstein effectively as a proxy vote in the House. House Democrats exchanged texts during Trump trial, congressional hearings, proving that Epstein hated Donald Trump and wanted to destroy his career, including hoaxing him into being some type of predator. This is available in all of the Epstein documents that they've released. Obviously, Epstein disliked Trump a lot and used President Trump for leverage. And this is something that was constantly happening with Epstein and his inner circle. He's just a really, really creepy and horrible person. But what has been proven time and time again in these releases is that they have absolutely no incriminating evidence on Donald Trump, including but not limited to the Democrats redacting names of supposed Trump victims that have said time and time again, like Virginia Roberts, that President Trump did nothing wrong, that they actually have a lot of respect for President Trump. He's one of the few people that tried to stop the madness. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see here a beautiful example of Stacey Plaskett, Democrat from the Virgin Islands, texting Jeffrey Epstein and then saying everything that Epstein told her to say during an anti-Trump committee hearing. Okay. You know, like the whole thing is just completely fraudulent. All they've done is expose themselves. But now, ladies and gentlemen, they've exposed some new things. Finally, this isn't the end of the road for Donald Trump. This isn't. They finally got him. The walls are closing in. But they finally have released new things, new photographs and images that are curious for sure, implicating a lot more Democrats, but some newly unreleased photos of President Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's lock in and look. Every photo from the latest disturbing Epstein files release, Trump, Clinton, and Prince Andrew. House Democrats today released new images of Jeffrey Epstein from the Jeffrey Epstein estate, including Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Prince Andrew. The trove of 19 undated photos ranging from glitzy events to journeys on private jets to pornographic material, actually, and sex toys and stuff. Include Treasury Secretary Larry Summers and Bill Gates, former Trump advisor Steve Bannon, director Woody Allen, and billionaire Richard Branson. The images do not implicate any of the pictured in Epstein's crimes. House Democrats released select photographs from the tranche of over 95,000 that it received. 95,000 photographs. Geez. So you released 18 of the 95,000? So who's holding the Epstein evidence now? This is crazy. So let's go ahead and look. Let's go ahead and look at some of these. Ladies and gentlemen, new photos released from Epstein estates, Trump, Bannon, Clinton. I mean, obviously we knew that him and Trump were friends. These aren't, it's not a particular bombshell. It was rumored that Steve Bannon, and Steve's confirmed this to me, it was making a documentary on Jeffrey Epstein. That'd be awesome. Why don't you release that? Like I say that in good faith. Why not release the documentary? Steve Bannon, it got like creepy. People were zooming in on this photo like, what the hell's going on here? Exactly. Creepy photo, a redacted face, like a blotted out, blacked face. Yeah, I don't know. Same thing here. I'm not trying to be particularly creepy or presumptuous, but what's going on in these photos? All right, super. We already knew the guy was a creep. And super weird. And what's on this, Mac Tower here? Why have we never seen any of those documents? Again, there are terabytes of information that have never been released. Here he is on set with Woody Allen. Woody Allen, obviously, legendary filmmaker and total creep. Here we go. The first Trump photo, the Trump condom. Finally, I'm huge. I mean, is there any reference to this? Like, is this like some party? Is Donald Trump there? Is Jeffrey Epstein just making fun of Donald Trump? Here we have Larry Summers on the famous Lolita Express. This is Obama's Treasury Secretary. Looks like Woody Allen here too. Here's a selfie, a mirror selfie with Steve Bannon. Wasn't counting on that, but we know that Steve Bannon was close with Epstein, or at the very least, he was working with Epstein Looks like they had some books, but I can't see what books those are. But yeah, the selfie with Steve Bannon, wasn't counting on that. Here's Richard Branson, pretty famous dude. Jeffrey Epstein, they're clearly on one of their private islands. They both have private islands. And here we have Donald Trump with a bunch of women. They all have their clothes on. There are plenty of photos of Trump with women. Looks like they're at a party. Some of them have lays on their necks. And I don't know. Trump doesn't have a tie on, so this is clearly the Trump Playboy era. Looks like an early 2000s photograph. And a reminder that Jeffrey Epstein was charged in 2008 for his sex crimes. So there's a distinct difference between the Epstein was always a creep, but there's a distinct difference between Jeffrey Epstein being charged as a sex predator and pest versus later Jeffrey Epstein, which is where you get some of the Bill Gates and Obama connections. Here we have Bill Gates and Donald Trump. Clearly, this is like a 1990s photo. Look at Trump's hair, right? You can see like the difference. And they are grinning and laughing in a club. It's got to be like a club or party somewhere in New York, or something like some club or party. There's a photo of that's Bill Gates right there, sitting on the Lolita Express. It's so creepy. Here's just like a framed photo of you on the Lolita Express. Some other women in semi-compromising positions. I don't know. Looks like she's in a bed. Prince Andrew and Bill Gates. Bill Gates again, flying away with Jeffrey Epstein. Dershowitz. We know Dershowitz was his lawyer. And here's Woody Allen with Steve Bannon. Yikes. Got like a children's whiteboard here. And here is Donald Trump with unnamed blonde, who's there. Was this on the Jeffrey Epstein plane? Here's Bill Clinton grinning from ear to ear. Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. Looks like right after Clinton got out of the White House, maybe, right? Seems like it. Okay. House Democrats releasing these photos. This is the House Democrats received 95,000 new photos from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. Disturbing images raise more questions about Epstein relationships with powerful men. Here's some of the photos, ladies and gentlemen, that are getting some of the attention here. You have a jawbreaker gag. Terms and conditions apply. This is a choke gag. You have some creepy sexual devices here, like a rubber glove, a ribbed rubber glove, and some other, I don't even know, man, stuff. Sex toys, sex shop toys. Some of the photos, sex shop toys. Redactions have been made by the committee. Oversight Dems release now, like, where are the rest of them? So you release 18 photos. Again, people are zooming in. Like, it looks like it's just a very strange photo to have on your desk. What is going on there? Nobody knows. Be nice to know. Meaning, like, at some point, you just got to say, out with it, right? Like, explain some of this stuff. There's so much innuendo. There's so much unfounded. You see a photo like this, and it looks like bad because everyone's face is blacked out. But then it's like, well, wait a second. Why aren't these other people's faces blacked out? They're doing like selective redactions, seemingly, and making things look maybe worse than they are. They already did this in one of the releases. Black latex glove included. Yikes. So there's no like descriptions. They've released it with like effectively like unknown location, unknown plane, some unidentified pilot, unknown location. So they're just releasing random photos. Yeah. The American people want an explanation of what Epstein was and what his operation was. I don't think that the Trump administration is served by trying to cover up or conceal anything, especially at this point. Just out with it. Just out with it. Every single release of every single like little innuendo and release and like drip, like they're trying to make it look worse for Trump. Got nothing to hide. Just let it go. Yep. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See you.